Arab Muslims arrived at their doorstep with swords to behead them, yelling Allahu Akbar. You're telling me I'm ethnically cleansing the Arabs, right?
Yeah.
But I promise you, you don't want London to be a Muslim city. I promise you, you do not want New York City, Mamdani's New York City, to be Muslim. It's not going to end up well for anyone.
But you don't think, both of you, that it's super racist what you're saying right now?
Sneako, if you hear this, come to debate.
As an Israeli Jew, what do you think about the Muslim world?
Deport, deport, deport.
Okay, so that will start first. First of all, welcome to the Moshe Fabricant podcast. We here with great friends of mine. First of all, Tal, TheTravelingClatt here.
Salamu alaikum, Musa.
Tal Oran, thank you very much. Good that you're here. And also Inon, Kehati, man. How are you, brother?
Baruch Hashem, Ishtabach Shemot. Thank you very much.
Okay. You talked in Hebrew for a second.
I know, but still, to give a little bit of Yiddishkeit.
I understand. First of all, you are both members of the Israeli hasbara. If we will talk about it, like in a big stance like that.
Thou shall not say the word hasbara because we do hatkafa.
We're anti-hasbara.
Yes.
You're Uga Buga.
We're Huga Buga. We get paid $7,000 by the Israeli government.
Allegedly.
Now it's 8,000 by the way.
8,000.
8,000.
It's climbing up every second we sit here.
We don't get shit.
No.
You don't get shit. Speak for yourself.
You're getting?
It's all day, every day.
You really?
I got direct contact with Bibi Netanyahu. Are you kidding me?
No, okay.
I hit him up. I'm like, Bibi, yo, deposit me that 7.
Okay, I understand that bullshit.
3 times a day.
But let's just say that. Is that rumor true for sure? Like some people get it?
Sure. I would believe that some people have gotten paid. I don't know exactly 7,000, but I'm sure that some people have gotten paid by the Israeli government. Like Ministry of Foreign Affairs, MFA, they do work. I will say not the greatest work, but they do work. And it happens, but it's not common. And it's definitely not going to useful Israel advocacy.
And it's okay. We do not need to apologize. I mean,
Right.
Also anti-Zionist advocates get money from...
Yeah, but it's not like that's
example.
widespread. Like you are not getting money from the government itself.
I got jack shit. I've been doing this for 2 years. I gave up my whole career. Like I told you earlier in the Hebrew podcast, I was sleeping on the floor when I got here. Like I documented this whole journey. Somebody can track my track record if you want. You can check my bank statements. I mean, I haven't gotten shit from Israel. Israel hasn't helped me at all. Nothing.
So you got the money only from your work that you are doing on YouTube.
It's exclusively my fans, like the people who love me, my viewers, the people who join my Patreon, people who buy my merch.
Oh, the merch itself. Sweet
plug.
Zionist Prince.
Yeah. And I got a whole merch line that antagonizes the pro-Palestine side. And it's literally only because of them that I've been able to stay afloat and survive. Only because of them.
You have something to say?
No.
Okay, so let's start with the big thing. What do you think that the world doesn't understand about Israel and the Israeli-Palestinian conflict as Israeli Jews?
I think the world sees this as a binary conflict, a very black and white, oppressor versus oppressed, black versus white. Actually, now it's more like brown versus white, Muslim versus Jew. And that is like it's such a disservice to this conflict. It's such a disservice to the Middle East in general, because this region is so fucking complex. Like,
really?
Oh yeah. I mean, I even think a lot of people in Israel don't understand how complex the history of our region is. I mean, it's probably the most complex. I mean, it's where civilization started, right? This is where all the cities, all of culture, not just all of Abrahamic faith, but every story we possibly have, for the most part, has come from this region. And the civilization, the basics of civilization, numbers, math, everything you can imagine has come from here. And all of that plays a part into the Israeli-Palestinian conflict today. So it's very, very broad. People try to narrow it down to just black versus white, colonizer versus colonized. It doesn't work like that.
So what do you think people abroad don't understand about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, about its complexity, let's just say?
Well, I mean, something that we spoke about in the Hebrew podcast we just did, me and Inon both come from a Mizrahi Jewish background. And I think that's one of the key elements that's erased, that's omitted from the conversation. You would agree with me 99% of the time, no?
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah, and people don't want to platform our family stories of what they went through under Arab rule, how we got here. For example, I'll tell you a story. Hajj Amin al-Husseini, are you familiar with the name?
Yeah, but who was?
The Grand Mufti was the only proper leader of Palestine, whatever that would be, back in the 1930s. The man had a meeting and convened a meeting with Hitler in Nazi Germany at the time, and literally was the catalyst, the reason why Jews in Iraq got deported and ended up in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
So he went off to his little meeting with Hitler and convinced Hitler to translate Mein Kampf into Arabic. It was already in part of the plan, but after the erasure of Jews of Europe, the plan was to erase the Jews in the next place they populated the most, which was the Middle East.
And we can say the same as well.
Yes.
Right. And also the scholar Dr. Eddie Cohen talks about him as well a lot.
Correct.
He wrote a book about him, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. And also it's very interesting to mention that the Palestinian propaganda doesn't mention Hajj Amin al-Husseini at all. Because of that fact.
Yeah.
And that's why also they count the conflict to begin from 1948. And everything before is irrelevant.
It doesn't matter. I always, whenever I have those conversations with Palestinians too, I say, where do you want to start history? You want to start October 7th? They're always like, no, history doesn't start October 7th. Okay, where do you want to start? You want to start 1948? I don't want to start 1948. I'd like to go further back. Because if we start past 1948, it is a very, very, very bad case for the Muslim Arabs. They have a track record of 1,000 years of abuse. I want you to pull something up, Moshe, if you can.
I'm with you.
If you look up medium.com, okay, medium.com, crimes of Muslims against Jews. You could put that into Google.
Medium.com.
Yeah, medium.com, crimes of Muslims against Jews.
Crimes versus Muslims.
Muslims versus Jews.
Muslims versus Jews. Okay, let's see. Okay, this
one, second one.
The second one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right here. This is the
crimes committed by Muslims against Jews since the 7th century.
Yeah, I independently researched this. Almost every single thing on here has like some historical channel that has legitimized it. Just do a quick scroll. That's in the 600s when Islam just came about. This is around the time of the Umayyad dynasty. This is the peace in the Middle East that we had with the Arabs. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Keep going.
There's a lot of...
Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going. Look at that. This is the peace we had with the Palestinians.
The narrative that it was so hunky-dory and so lovely.
Christians, Jews, Muslims just living together.
Just before Zionism.
Let's just stop real quick.
And then Zionism
1450.
Yeah.
Trial of Jews accusing having written the name of Mohammed in their synagogue in Fustat. They are converted by force. Scroll down a little more.
Okay, and I can't go fast.
Stop.
Okay.
1608. Persecution for two years of the Jews of Tarudat by the Berbers in Morocco. Narrative is that we lived in peace in Morocco. Keep going a little more.
Okay, I'm going.
Stop. 1747. Massacres of Mashhad, Iran. 1700. Massacres of Jews in Yemen. It's just a non-stop list of potentially hundreds of thousands, maybe millions.
And we didn't even reach the 20th century.
We didn't even and where it gets more documented. Imagine there are massacres there that are not even saved. Now, what I always try to imagine, I want people to think about is, and this will lead into my family story and the thing that people like to omit from this conflict. When Hajj Amin al-Husseini traveled to Hitler, he convinced him to translate Mein Kampf into Arabic. Mein Kampf gets translated, becomes a best-selling book. You could look this up. In the 1930s in Baghdad and in Cairo, two of the capital cities of the Arab Muslim world at the time.
Cairo, Egypt, until today.
It is one of the best-selling books, but at the time it was a best-selling book. This directly inspired the 1941 pogrom called the Farhud in Iraq, which happened to my grandparents. They lived under this pogrom. And so whenever
Yeah, we can see that. Yes, Mein Kampf has seen significant, consistent sales in Egypt, becoming a popular book, especially in Arabic translations, with reports from the 20th century confirming... No, 21st century, confirming sales at the Cairo International Book Fair and in local bookstores.
Look at that key points on Egyptian sales. Early translation. The book was translated in Arabic in 1937. That's just around the time Hajj Amin al-Husseini convened this meeting with Hitler. And these aren't conspiracy theories. This is a direct cause and effect relationship. Mm-hmm. You embolden Hitler's ideology. You embolden fascism, racism, hatred of Jewish people in your society. One thing leads to another. You have Jews getting kicked out of Iraq, of Iran, of Lebanon, of Syria. Yet our story, gone with the wind, like it never even happened. Where are my human rights? Where is my narrative? Where is my story? My family did not grow up Zionist. They believed in coming back to Israel at some point, but it was a dream. But they weren't a part of the Zionist movement.
But you're still a Jewish person and you're still an Israeli, so you're having the upper end.
Correct.
You're a colonizer.
Correct. But in 1941, June 1st and 2nd, 1941, when my grandma was 2 and my grandfather was 11, Arab Muslims arrived at their doorstep with swords to behead them, yelling Allahu Akbar.
Really?
I mean, I have this as a testament on all of my pages, my grandparents relaying the story. They've told me this throughout my entire life. This is what they dealt with. This is their reality. And again, this happened in Cairo, this happened in Alexandria, it happened in Lebanon, Damascus, Homs, wherever you want, where there were Muslims or Jews living amongst Muslims, we were abused. Where is our right? Where is our story?
But the thing is, you're still stronger than the other side. And you see that in also October 7th, we allegedly, that's the biggest generals of our army, Bughi Alon, for example, says we are doing ethnic cleansing and war crimes. So if he says it, then what the fuck are you saying, basically, Tal?
I'll explain to you. We have to look to the Palestinians to understand that narrative. Have you looked in Palestinian media, Moshe? Often?
Not often.
Okay. When you look at Palestinian media and see, and I know you know this because we both look at this for work, when you look at Palestinian media often to study how they're portraying the narrative, they don't portray this as the Israel-Palestine conflict.
Okay.
They portray this the Arabs versus the Jews. Yeah? To us, we're the stronger one because right now we're looking at it, the Israel-Palestine conflict. But this isn't the Israel-Palestine conflict. This is the Jews versus the Arab world. This is an extension of the cancer that is Pan-Arabism, that the cancer that is Islamism and Jihadism that has been forced across the Middle East as an ideology that will somehow liberate the Arab world and the Muslim world onto us. And we are fighting a war not against Palestinians. We're fighting a war theoretically against the whole Arab world.
And the whole Arab world, I'm sorry for interrupting, is basically against us. All of these events of all the, how we call it, Liga Aravit,
the Arab League.
The Arab League, yeah. All of their meanings is against the Zionist Jews.
Correct.
It's all against us. What did you want to say, Inon?
I wanted to say that this is what they say to themselves in the inner Arab, inner Muslim conversation. But what they say to the world is something completely different.
Really?
They say to the world, this is oppressor versus oppressed. This is colonialism versus indigenous people.
Apartheid,
and all of the buzzwords.
Ethnic cleansing, genocide.
Genocide and all that.
You think they're saying genocide in Gaza?
No.
They're saying we won.
What I want to say is that because the West portrays the weak as the righteous, according to the Christian morality,
with Jesus,
and turn the other cheek and so on and so forth. So the more that the Palestinians portray themselves as victim and as weak, the more they are being depicted as righteous. And the strong is Goliath, allegedly us, even though we are the minority in the Middle East. But you see, this is what they say inside and what they say outside. And I also say that regarding the terminology, because of the woke left, that, a woman can be identified as a cat and all the terminology, and there's no more truth and facts. There's only terminologies and what you can identify and the way you want to identify. So on the same basis, a woman can be identified as a cat. Now, a war that they started against us is identified as genocide.
But it doesn't matter, Inon. You're in Israel, you're Jewish, and you got attacked on October 7th, and right now you took people out of their homes, 80% of their homes are destroyed, and you just ethnic cleanse them. Who the fuck are you to say that you are the victim?
I would say that whoever tried to kill my children and women is going to pay a price.
Okay,
and we're not going to allow,
yeah,
like all of the nations that when they had similar scenarios, let's take, for example, the Americans, Pearl Harbor, unprovoked attack.
In the World War II, yeah.
And at the end, what happened to the Japanese, what the Americans did to them.
Or the bombing of Dresden.
Yeah, as well.
Now they turn us with the morality questions. I mean, who are you to give us a lecture about morality?
But by the way, I love this talking point, by the way, and I use it often. But I think, in my opinion, there's an even more effective talking point. And I use what you said often, especially the bombing of Dresden. But it is a hasbara talking point, what we just did right now. Because we're explaining... Let me break this down for you even deeper. Just to understand the mindfuck that is the Arab world and Arab identity, which we'll get into later. You're telling me I'm ethnically cleansing the Arabs, right?
Yeah.
This state is made up of 70% Mizrahi Jews. 70%. What are Mizrahi Jews to the Arabs? We're Arabs.
Basically,
They call us Arab Jews. If I want to go live in Gaza right now, where the fuck is my right? Where's my right? Wait, I'm an Arab.
You're talking about the right to live there, but you're not letting anyone to enter.
No. I want to control Gaza. I'm an Arab. As an Arab citizen of the Democratic Republic of Bnei Israel, that's the way I see this country. 70% of this country is made up of Arab Jews. To them, I'm not saying we're Arab Jews. I don't think we are. But to them, where's my right to live in Ramallah? Where's my right to kick a Palestinian out of his home, take over it in Ramallah or in Nablus, the way that they do in Syria, the way they do in Lebanon, the way they do in Tunisia, in Morocco, and nobody complains about it?
But then you're a betrayer.
Where is my right is what I'm asking. My question is, according to the Arab world, I want the same rights. I want equality from them. Until they're willing to offer me the same benefit of the doubt, I go, fi alaykim, and on all of your rights and all your ideology. I don't believe in what you're preaching. Until you give me the opportunity to come and ethnically cleanse Gaza, doesn't really make sense as an ethnic cleansing, by the way, because most of the people that would be moving in, right, if we were to take Gaza, would be Arabs that they see as Arabs. They just wouldn't be Muslim, which is a crazy thing, because that's actual apartheid. You're committing a religious apartheid against another people. Where's my rights? I want those same exact rights that they offer every other Arab in the Middle East.
Again, I understand that talking point. That talking point is interesting.
It's one I've never had an Arab be actually able to defeat. This is kind of the stuff that I like to play dirty with my talking points. I like using bad faith arguments, and I really believe in it. You have to make them question their own ideology. If you are going to call me an Arab and use me as an Arab for your example, which, by the way, I get into beefs, you don't know this, into beefs with Palestinian advocates all the time. Shout out to our friend Sharif Safadi, if you know who he is.
No, I don't know.
Palestine's #1 propagandist who lives inside of Israel. He hates Israel from the inside, supports Hamas from the inside. Very, wild character. I love him though. I do like him a lot. He's good friends with the Saluki as well. The guy can't, he calls me an Arab on a regular basis, but when I counter him with this point, where's my rights? He doesn't have an answer.
So he basically tries to guard the Palestinian narrative.
Correct. But the Palestinian narrative is something that I love because, and people get angry at me for using the word Palestinian. They're like, just call them Arabs. Like, no, actually, if you call them Palestinian, it's more effective for our narrative. You should call them a Palestinian because, first of all, let's talk about real quick, without getting into semantics, what the hell is a Palestinian, my friends, in the roundtable discussion? What is a Palestinian?
Oh, it's a good question. I mean, Arab control was in Israel for like 100 of years. Before
around 700, 800 years properly.
Yeah. Some of them stayed.
Correct.
It's insinuated that maybe some of them are the Palestinians of today.
No problem, but what is the word Palestinian? Where does that come from? What is a Palestinian?
I mean, allegedly it's Plishtim, no?
Plishtim, correct. Where are Plishtim from? The Philistines?
Well, good question.
They're from the Aegean Islands, from Greece. Why call yourself a Palestinian? You are literally feeding into the fact that you are a colonizer from Europe. You understand the inverse? Everything they throw on us. This is what drives me crazy about my job because I see all the answers and I'm like, why are we just not using these as... And when you present this to a Palestinian, they don't have what to answer.
As an Israeli Jew, what do you think about the Muslim world?
I think the Muslim world today is following a corrupt interpretation of their own holy scriptures. I mean, the Muslims of the Islamic Brotherhood, that unfortunately approximately 90% of the Muslims follow.
Yep.
But Islam, if I look at it in the purest form, Islam has a divine mission actually to spread the Tawheed, the word of Allah to humanity. As it also in the book of Genesis, Abraham, our patriarch, he had his firstborn son, Ishmael, who is the patriarch of the Arabs and the Muslims. He is the first descendant to spread and to multiply the belief in Hashem, in Elohim, in Allah. So it depends how we look at Islam, but the current situation of Islam is definitely very corrupted.
You're an Israeli content creator, Tal. What do you think about Islam?
I actually, due to reading Inon's book, Shema Ishmael, or Oh Hear Ishmael, it's an amazing book that's coming out in English very soon.
Yeah,
you should all purchase it.
You can see it right now. It's in the Hebrew version.
The English version is coming out soon. I got a chance to look at the English copy before anybody else, and it's amazing. I've also been working with Inon for over a year now about all these topics. I think I've gotten a new understanding for Islam in a way that I didn't really interpret it before. I will say, before doing the Israel advocacy stuff, I was traveling around the world. I visited almost 80 countries over 10 years, some of which were Muslim countries. And I got a chance to sit and have very deep conversations, friendships, experiences with Muslims from all over the world. Some of which I will never, ever, ever be able to turn my back on.
Really?
They were so amazing to me that I'll never be able to say all Muslims. And a lot of people want me to. In the space that we're in, it's very easy to pressure you into demonizing the entire religion, the entire Quran, all hadith. My main issue is that there's no consistency with what the Ummah is.
What is the Ummah?
The Ummah is the idea of the Muslim nation, the 2 billion Muslims that exist in the world, or 1.9 billion Muslims that exist in the world. They fall under this category of the Ummah. The problem is that a Muslim in Ethiopia and a Muslim in Iran, a Muslim in Pakistan, a Muslim in Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Palestine, Egypt, all hate each other, don't agree on anything. Maybe they'll come together every once in a while to walk around the Kaaba, but other than that, they don't agree on anything, on jack shit. They can't come to terms on anything. And a lot of times they end up being very violent and hateful towards each other. Then by virtue, if you can't be peaceful with each other, you're going to be violent towards Christians, you're going to be violent towards Jews.
And more than that, sorry to cut you.
No, please.
The only thing that you can have agreement and unify and is hate towards us, then you have a problem.
Absolutely. And I think I always give the example to Muslims like this. I think this is a perfect example.
I'm with you.
When you look at the state of Israel, right? It hasn't been perfect here. We've had racism between the different ethnic groups that have come.
For sure, in the 60s, 70s.
Yeah, there's been discrimination. But look at how we have treated each other. Ashkenazi Jews come here in the 40s, early 30s, late 50s, and they set up the modern framework of the state of Israel.
Sure.
What's the first thing they do? They tap in the Mizrahis from all over the world. They say, all right, we completed one part of this task. Teamwork. Come on in. Then what do the Mizrahis do? The Mizrahis work and advocate with Rabbi Ovadia Yosef to bring in the Ethiopian Jews. It hasn't been perfect. We're still missing 16,000 Ethiopian Jews that are there. But we tapped in a large percentage, a majority of the Ethiopian Jews to bring over here. And since then, it's been this amazing shalsheret, this amazing chain of bringing the Bene Menashe from India and from China, the Kaifeng Jews and Jews from Singapore and from all over the world, like a relay race of teamwork. And what do you see in the Muslim world? When Palestinians were dispossessed of their home and ethnically cleansed in the Nakba, they received a partial status in Jordan, in Syria, in Egypt. In the current genocide, the neighboring state Egypt has blocked them off from entering the country, bribing them $10,000 as the gate. And by the way, if you notice the way that I'm speaking about the Muslim world right now, I'm not doing hasbara. I'm attacking them because they deserve to be attacked by a strong Jew or strong Jews with this mindset. I see their shortcomings, and I'm not going to be racist like the Western media. The Western media sees the Muslim world, Arab world, brown people like me, they see us as lesser.
Really?
They perceive us as incapable.
It's the expectation of low, it's the...
Racism of low expectations. I think Douglas Murray coined, I'm not sure who coined it. Somebody coined it. Maybe Gadsad, I'm not sure.
Maybe Jordan Peterson.
Maybe Jordan Peterson.
Or Douglas Murray, for sure.
But what it dictates is that if you are from this certain ethnicity, if you look a certain which way, you're predisposed to behaving a certain way. Excuse me, I'm an Iraqi Jew. I come from the civilization of Babylon that created a lot of the civilization we live in today. I take immense pride in that. Egyptians everywhere should take pride in the fact that they were the civilization that built the pyramids.
For sure.
We were civilization before civilization was a thing. Why should we have white people, and I'm not saying all white people, but white people in the West pointing the finger at us and expecting us to behave a certain which way? We're capable of greatness. I uphold every Palestinian, every Arab, every Muslim to that same exact degree. If you're acting like a shithead, Abu Baklawa, the Huga Buga man, is coming to call you out for being a shithead.
Ooga booga shit.
Huga Buga. That's if you can't act like a shithead all willy-nilly and pretend like everything's going to be okay. You don't get to just, because you're brown-skinned or because you live in this region, just pretend like you can act any which way and you get a free pass for it.
I will ask you both, if I may. I'll start with Inon, because...
And just to finish, I just want to say, I do actually love Islam. I find that a lot of I've read the Quran twice, a lot because of the inspiration of Inon. Yeah, I find, I'm not saying I'm perfect or a Quranic scholar. I do appreciate the book for what it is. I don't think it's this corrupt, evil book. I think a lot of hadith is insane and extremely corrupt and can push Muslims into very dangerous ideas. And I challenge anybody who has a problem with Islam to have a deep, honest conversation with a Muslim about which hadith they agree with. No two Muslims agree on the same hadith, and that's a major issue in Islam.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And I challenge any Muslim that is watching to have a conversation or even debate.
Why not? Why not? Let's start with that, with the Islamic jihadistic takeover over Europe, okay? And I'll start with you, Inon.
Yeah.
You're an Israeli Jew. How do you look about the Islamic jihadistic takeover over Europe?
I think that Europe, and especially the Christian world, is facing identity or belief crisis. And I think because they went so astray from their own tradition and from the church, they're looking for meaning. And, every human being needs a meaning. And what Islam, especially in the Muslim Brotherhood type of Islam, which is anti-Zionist, obviously, what they did, they used the Palestinian trademark, Gaza, as something to attract lost Christians that lost their way into something that gives them meaning. And by that, they taking over actually, and they're getting more foothold in every aspect in Europe, and also they start now in the USA, like we see with Mamdani. Now it goes to another element that the Christians and the West is more feminine force. And feminine force, when they see strong, masculine energy like the Muslims who are having no boundaries.
They have no remorse for
regarding
sure.
use of force and regarding their clarity, regarding what they want, domination and all that.
Yeah.
They see it as something appealing. And
The Sharia law.
Sharia law, or their struggle and resistance and fight and all that. That's very appealing to a lot of people in the West. And that's because, again, like I said before, the West itself lost its sense of purpose, and they find it now with anti-Zionist Islam.
Tal, you're a big Israeli content creator. How do you see the Islamic jihadistic takeover over Europe?
I think I really think that we've told Europeans, people of European descent, as a community, as a whole, as a global community, that they're terrible, that they are a bunch of colonizers, that their civilizations don't mean shit. And I'm somebody who grew up in the age of the internet, and I've seen the last 10 years the way that media has demonized white people, quote unquote. And you think for a region or continent like Europe that's already kind of predisposed to being more liberal, right? They're predisposed to acting a little bit more liberal, being a little bit more siesta hour culture. It's equal rights, humanity for everybody. We're going to try to give the best quality of life. People who have genuine good in their heart. I'm not saying they're bad people, but you can see how they would internalize that as we're horrible. And so all of a sudden you have this mix of what Inon was talking about, but also a desire to be apologetic for who you are. Italians don't want to be Italian anymore. Germans don't want to be German anymore.
You see that?
Of course. And I speak to them all the time, especially the younger generation. This Gen Z generation in Europe is not like the Gen Z generation in America. And whatever the generation after Gen Z is, I don't know the name. Zoomers, I think they're called, or
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
But whatever that TikTok generation is, they are embarrassed of who they are. They're embarrassed to be culturally who they are. French, British, they don't want to be who they are.
The alpha generation.
Alpha generation, which is funny because it's kind of the opposite of being alpha.
They're not alpha.
And this is specifically in Europe, by the way. In America, I think it's a little bit different. And then you have this sort of violent, chaotic culture that is coming in from the East, like the Muslim world. This culture that is literally looking to just uproot the laws and civilization that it's in. Like Tommy Robinson speaks about this in the UK, Pakistani rape gangs that are running around raping white women, and the white police officers don't do anything because you can't be racist. That is a backstab to your culture and to your people. That is a massive problem. Like what we see going on in Dearborn, Michigan, where Somalis are running a huge black market, underground money extortion.
Really?
Yeah, it's like the whole thing. I think it was something like $18 billion was stolen during COVID by Somali migrants.
Shit.
In Dearborn, Michigan. The whole city is being run by this piracy that was imported from Eastern culture. But because white people don't want to be seen as racist anymore, which granted, by the way, I can understand that pendulum can swing back and hit me as a brown person who's kind of on their side. But I prefer to have these white people in Europe be stronger, proud of their cultures, than feel like they need to get overrun by this chaotic culture from the East that has overrun my family and most of the people who are descended in the state. Like in Israel, we know firsthand what it's like to relinquish power to the Muslims.
Yeah, we tried.
Not only that, they came and they colonized this land after the Byzantines. The Byzantines fell, Muslims come in, and they held power here for around 1,000 years. We know what it's like. We know what it's like in this region. It doesn't end up good for anyone. Everyone ends up suffering. There are periods of time where it'll be good, but it's not a good trajectory. I promise you, you don't want London to be a Muslim city. I promise you, you do not want New York City, Mamdani's New York City, to be Muslim. It's not going to end up well for anyone.
Yeah. I think that it's such a battle between cultures if we look at it deeply. The Islam rule can be dangerous to the West, but the West doesn't see it as such a danger, we can say that. I think because of the postmodern outlook, we try to be empathetic to them, but being empathetic eats us from inside. We are cannibalizing ourselves.
Absolutely. And there's this, what we spoke about before, the racism of low expectations, the Nick Fuenteses of the world, the Tucker Carlsons of the world, the Candace Owens of the world. We saw what happened with the 12-day war with Iran. They all hyped up that this was going to be this massive war, that the Jews are dragging, and Netanyahu is dragging Israel into dragging America into a big war in the West, and it's going to be World War III. And what happened? Trump pinpointed this one place in Fordo, blew it up, and Salaam alaikum, we're done. But you have those people on the other side who are pretending to claim that they understand that these cave people in the Middle East, they're not a big threat. They're nothing to be afraid of. We don't need to worry about them. I always bring it like this. You are in a war, whether you like it or not. If you are a person in the West, if you are a Christian, you're in a war. You don't feel that the war is happening. It doesn't affect your life every day, but you are in a war. The people who are bloodthirsty, who are willing to kill you over the fact that you believe in Jesus Christ as God or a Messiah, they want to kill you for that. And you're in that war. Now, your choice is, are you going to fight back? Are you going to preemptively strike? Or are you going to wait for that war to arrive on your doorstep?
But you don't think, both of you, that it's super racist what you're saying right now? You're saying basically the Muslims maybe have a bad understanding of the world and also act in such bad faith and in violence, and you're saying we should degrade them, we should lower them, we should look at them as enemies of the West. Who are you to fucking say that?
On the vice versa, we actually want higher expectations from them.
Right.
We do not want to treat them in a racist way like the West, to not demand from them any accountability, any responsibility.
Because they're weak, allegedly.
Exactly.
We expect them to be better.
Even though they are weak, it doesn't mean that they are inferior. We want from them the same morals that we want from ourselves. And again, because the West is so much viewing the weak as the righteous, they cannot have the same standards also to people that have no boundaries. So
also, Moshe, let's not jump into the trap of first referring to Islam or Muslims as a race, because it's not. It's not a race. There are people who are Muslim who you can be racist against. Like, for example, people might consider my content racist against Pakistanis because I make fun of them often. But even that's not really a race. That's a nationality.
It's looking at them as inferior to you.
It can be considered as Islamophobic.
Islamophobic.
Now,
okay.
This is the same label they've put on people like Mossab Hassan Youssef, Yosef Haddad, who you've interviewed.
An Arab, yeah. An Arab Israeli, we well know.
I asked the question, right? Let's bring up this example. Yosef Haddad grew up in Nazareth, right? I believe in Nazareth in northern Israel.
I don't remember, but we'll check it. Nazareth?
The man's city has literally been taken over by radical Muslims to the point where Christians have left Nazareth to go live in Nofa Galil, the city right outside of Nazareth up on the hill, because it's safer for them to live amongst the Jews in a Jewish city created in the top of Nazareth than to live amongst Muslims who are now controlling Nazareth inside of the state of Israel.
Interesting.
Tell me, would you consider him Islamophobic for having a genuine grievance with administration that is Muslim?
But you can look at him as a puppet of the state. People from the outside can look at him as a puppet. He's an Arab. They're using him as an example. An Arab Israeli that supports the Israeli narrative. He's a puppet of the government.
What about me? My grandparents were ethnically cleansed from Iraq by Arab Muslims. I'm an Arab. Do I not have a genuine... Can I not be Islamophobic? Can I not have a phobia of living under... I'm not saying that I am Islamophobic. I'm not Islamophobic. Whatever that means. But like, Douglas Murray considers himself an Islamophobe. He's gay. Under any Muslim governance, he is warranted to be killed.
For sure.
So is that not genuine? Apostate prophet also. He grew up in Turkey as a Muslim. The guy has a fatwa on his head to kill him.
Even though you can express in your own bed in like some of the Islam countries, like same-sex marriage.
Correct.
Or no, same sex, just with the same sex. It's okay with some of them. That's what I'm saying.
Sure, but then again, we're holding them to racism of low expectations. My expectation of you is so low that I will allow you to not kill Douglas Murray for having sex in his own bed in his hotel room. Who cares? Who the hell cares? Why are you dictating who can and do? Like, we don't live in that world anymore. And I understand that the gay rights argument is not an argument I like to get into because that's also a controversial territory for Israel. But I will just say, for the sake of the argument, we shouldn't hold them to low expectations like that. We should aspire for them to be better than that. We shouldn't be openly advocating for people to persecute one another based on who they sleep with or what they believe in. We should be advocating for some level of equality and freedom in the Middle East. Not perfect equality, some level of it.
US tried and failed.
The US tried and failed?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think I would see, like you're talking about Iraq and Afghanistan?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can look at it as poor attempts from the get-go with their own strategy upon it. But again, those are examples of the biggest country in the world trying to make peace, not succeeding. You can say because they don't understand the culture, fine. But in the end goal, it didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I would consider what the US did in Iraq and Afghanistan as like an attempt at peace. It was there's a lot of, I'm not like trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but there's a lot of stuff there about some very sketchy things that happened.
You think about money and resources.
100%.
Look, regarding that, the Muslims have their own unique way of life and their own unique culture, and it's okay. I mean, they don't have to be a democracy exactly like
Correct.
us or like the West. It's okay that they have their own unique sets of laws and morals in their countries. But when they want to enforce that on other countries and to act with supremacy ideology that all the world should be like them, then we have a problem.
What do you think as an Israeli Jew about the progressives that support the Islamic, let's just say, takeover?
You talk about the progressives in the world or the Jewish progressives?
The progressives in the world.
Again, I think that they are looking for a purpose. And even though there's nothing aligned between the progressives who are anti-religion and the Muslims who are super religious, the only thing that connects them is two things. One is the hatred towards us, towards Zionism and Jews in general. And the second thing, they both want to destroy the old and build something new and to create a revolution and change world order. Even though the progressives act from a, again, anti-religious point of view, and the Muslims act from a very religious point of view. So there's nothing really together in common with them, but anti-Zionism.
I would like to add on top of that too, the thing that they both lack or that they come together on is no knowledge of history.
You think they don't have knowledge?
They do not know the history. Neither the progressives nor do the Muslims know their own history in this region. And if I'd like to pull out the surprise I proceeded to. I've got a surprise. Something I've come to show you that has traveled thousands of years to come be here at this table.
Okay, there are
coins.
I call this my coin shtick.
Okay, there is some coins.
I see a coin. I'm a Jew.
Okay, Moshe, I'm going to give you the whole spiel right now. I want you to see this and for your audience. And I don't know, maybe we'll put it graphically on screen.
We should give a shout out to Josh.
Give a shout out to Josh A, incredible YouTube and Instagram creator, who is the reason why I have a lot of these coins. Okay. These two coins right here are coins from the British Mandate of Palestine.
Fucking shit, mate.
Maybe we could put a photo up, or you want to pull it up here?
We can put a photo up.
Okay.
Okay, continue. But okay, just wait a second. So you're talking about both of those.
These two big coins, yeah. These are from the, and I want you to hold them, Moshe, so you can take a look.
I'm holding them.
These are from the British Mandate of Palestine. They were known as the Palestinian Mill.
Okay.
Palestinians or pro-Palestinians like to use this always as propaganda as to why Palestine was a state. This is proof that Palestine was a state. So we start here. One coin is 1927. One coin is 1946. Moshe, I want you to read to your audience on both coins. What does it say?
Okay, we see Palestine, 1946.
Right.
There is under it something 90-something-7.
All right. What are the three languages on the coin?
There is Arabic, there is English, and there is Hebrew.
Amazing. And it says Palestine in each one.
It says Palestine.
What does it say right after the Palestine in Hebrew? What are the two little parentheses in there? See that?
I see Aleph.
And?
Yud.
What does that stand for?
I don't know.
Eretz Yisrael.
Eretz Yisrael, okay.
This is something that appeared, and this was when the British controlled Jerusalem, British controlled Israel. This was on every single every single British document, tax paper, mail document, whatever it be, post office, the basketball team, the newspaper. It always said Palestine, Palestina in Hebrew, and then a parenthesis that had an Aleph Yud, or straight up it said the word Eretz Yisrael, which already then we have proof of Eretz Yisrael. This is something the pro-Palestine side, both the liberals and the Muslims that we spoke about, will deny. They will say this was propaganda.
Okay.
So I say, yalla habibi, we move it to the side.
Okay, I'm trying to show it to the best of my abilities, but like, okay, so now we see it clearly, okay? And the audience can see it as well, the explanation, you can say it as well again.
Yeah, so this is the British Mandate of Palestine coin.
Yeah.
You can see the word in Arabic, Hebrew, and English, Palestine, Palestine, Palestina in Hebrew, and then that parentheses that signifies Aleph Yud, Eretz Yisrael, on the coin.
On the phone.
This is almost 100 years old. This is 1927 and 1947, I believe, 1946, which is on screen. Okay, but a lot of times they'll say this is not proof enough because it's recent. So this doesn't prove ancient Israel. So I say, yalla habibi, let's move to the next one.
I agree. Okay.
It's not, right? It's not good proof. Okay, let's move here. These two coins.
Now the audience can see.
Amazing. And they're a little old. These two coins are 1,500 years old.
Really?
These are real. They're not replicas. These were found underground in Israel.
Okay.
This coin right here on the back, and you don't have to show it, but it says here, Muhammad Rasul Allah.
Okay.
Okay, which means...
It's hard to read.
Yeah, it's very hard to read, but there's better versions of this coin that you can see it very clearly. It says Muhammad Rasul Allah, which means Muhammad is God's prophet. And on the front here, it says La ilaha illallah, which means there is only God, but there's only one God but Allah. And then what do you see in the center there?
Seems like a Chanukiah, like
It is a Chanukiah.
Menorah.
It is a menorah. This was from when the Umayyad dynasty conquered Jerusalem. The first coin that they minted in Jerusalem was this coin with a 5-branch menorah.
Really?
Can any pro-Palestinian explain to me why?
We can see it on the screen right now as well.
Yeah.
Not in the best quality, but sound quality.
And by the way, another anecdote: the most Jewish symbol is actually not the Star of David, but the menorah.
Correct. Star of David is something, and this is, by the way, where this coin comes into the picture. This is the coin that has the Hatim Suleiman, which is what we call the Star of David in Hebrew. They call it the Hatim is like the notary, the seal
You
of
can hold
Suleiman.
this as well yourself and show it to the...
So this one is called the Hatim Suleiman coin,
I'll show it.
also from around 1,500 years ago in Jerusalem.
Okay.
And it says the same thing, Muhammad Rasul Allah, la ilaha illallah.
Fucking shit again, it's not focusing. It's okay. I'll do it for a second. No worries. Okay.
So you can see this coin has a Star of David on it, or they call the Muslim Hatim Suleiman. Again, with that Islamic subscription. Why can't any Muslim explain to me why that appears there?
Good question, man.
And these were found underground in Jerusalem. If Israel was a made-up state, the way that the Muslim radical world and the pro-Palestine world, the lefties, want to imagine, why do we have hardcore evidence of Jewish existence in the land of Israel coming back from 1,500 years ago? But yet, they still say that's not enough. I'm sorry, you have to take a picture of one more coin, but this is the most important one.
It's okay.
Okay?
I'm with you.
So I go further back in time. This one is called, you can pull this one up on Google Images easy. It's just called the Masada coin if you want to Google it. It's very easy to pull up. You see the front and back. So Moshe, take a look at this coin. Hold this in your hand.
Wait just a sec, brother. Okay, got it. Yes, thank you. Okay, and we have it right here on the left.
Beautiful.
And also on the under it.
Correct.
Okay, I see it. And
So this coin is from the period of time after the Romans attacked and sacked Jerusalem, and we were fighting for our liberation back.
Yeah.
The Jewish resistance actually minted their own currency. This, in my opinion, is the biggest proof. If anybody tells you Zionism is a European creation, it doesn't exist, it's fake, this is the biggest thing you can negate.
And also, I see there is Kada Shemen, basically.
It's actually, this is a wine vessel. It's a Judean wine vessel and a Judean grape leaf. Because Muslims drink a lot of wine. That's like a known thing, right? Yeah. So on the coin, it says something very significant. On the back here, it says Shnat Shtaim, okay? Referring to year 2 of our liberation. And on the front here, where the Judean grape leaf is, it says freedom to Zion, Lecherut Zion, in Paleo Hebrew. If anybody ever tells you, and you have to ask a pro-Palestinian, you have to ask a liberal, why the hell 2,200 years ago, and this is a real artifact, why the hell does that say that?
Interesting.
If Zionism is a fake European concept.
And of course it isn't. Just to know that. And then also archaeological proof.
Where is the explanation for this? I don't need to make up fake history. I mean, I don't need to bring you facts, dates, massacres. All I need is this little package, and every Jew, every Israel, every Zionist, everyone who loves this country can look at this right here and establish the narrative.
And even more than that, from their ancient sources, from their ancient archaeology, because what he brought here is not actually Israeli coins, it's Muslim coins.
Correct.
Yeah. Wow, it's fascinating. Just so people know, like, I don't know how people are stupid or not trying to look at the whole spectrum of thought. That's the thing.
I think that what Tal said in the beginning, because it's very complicated. There's a lot of history. There's a lot of information, a lot of, facts to know.
And also emotional, I think, attachment. You see the Gazans and all of that starving to death.
Right, but the emotions, which are, the Palestinians are artists in the manipulation of emotions as a weapon. Emotions are not the only thing that counts. You have also historical facts. You have also religion. It's not only one thing. It's a holistic thing. So when they weaponize emotions, obviously they win, because for them it's also profitable to maintain their suffering and to be as the David against us, allegedly the Goliath. Then again, that we are the minority in the Middle East in the end of the day.
Yeah. Tal, you're an Israeli. What do you think about the jihadists?
Look, I think it's something that needs to be eradicated. I think it's a cancer that needs to be fought. Whether it's in Syria or in Iraq or in Lebanon, it needs to be fought. We're the only ones in the neighborhood right now that are willing to really fight it. Us, maybe some of the Kurdish people, and there's obviously like different factions across the Assyrian demographic and Mandean demographic, Coptics who are willing to fight alongside us. But we have a moral pledge to make to this region. I always explain to people, there are so many ethnic groups in the Middle East looking at us for guidance. We're the only minority in the whole region that has gained sovereignty over our land, independence from Muslim Islamic rule.
Not gained, regained. Restored.
Fought for it.
That's why I use all the time, that it's not that we annexed or that we established the state of Israel. We restored our sovereignty. I think it's also very important in that terminology.
To know that, yeah.
Correct, absolutely. And I think when you ask the average ethnic minority in the Middle East who is looking at us, they're feeling very inspired, and we have a duty
and
to
sorry
them.
That I cut you, by the way,
okay.
before. I will not cut you again.
You're welcome to, Habibi, please. Tfadal. But like that's...
I promise I will not cut you again.
But we really do have a moral duty to the whole Middle East to show them, hey, this is not a pipe dream. This is something it's worth fighting for. Look at what Israel has done. Not to toot our own horn too much, but look what Israel.
And we love tutoring that horn.
We love doing the whole Intel chip, drip irrigation, all that stuff. But look what actually has been accomplished in this neighborhood of, for lack of better terms, Huga Buga cave people. Look at what's been done by Huga Buga cave people as well. Like Huga Buga cave people came here and applied themselves using the right funding and the tactics and teamwork and built something amazing.
Amazing.
So every single ethnic minority in the Middle East should. And I hope, inshallah, we'll do this one day so we can counter this cancer that is the jihad that's taking over our region.
What do you think about the jihad, Inon?
Again, I think that the jihad is, it's a corruption of Islam itself, because Islam should be something that respects all the prophets and all the scripture that came before it. And what they do now, they try to abolish, unsuccessfully, our story, our scriptures, our commitment. And this is actually not less than heresy, the way I see it. This form of Islam, not less than heresy.
I understand. There is this movement of, let's just say, support with Zoran Mamdani in the US, with New York. Yeah, you are Israelis, both of you. What do you think about Zoran Mamdani?
I think he's a jihadist.
You think as a jihadist?
Absolutely. I mean, he's a man who still at this point can't say that Israel has a right to exist. He hasn't said it. He hasn't really condemned Hamas.
He wants to arrest Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister.
Yeah, but that doesn't really surprise me because every Western nation at this point has kind of pledged to do that. I'm pretty sure Germany has done that as well. But he's I think the people, a wolf in sheep's clothing. He's pretending he's got that good smile. He's very charismatic. His media team is amazing. Amazing media team. And I do think he's going to fuck New York hard.
Really?
But I will say I have a prediction of positivity.
Let's go.
I lived in New York for a year. I love that city dearly. I had like a very pivotal year there. I changed my life. I had amazing YouTube views. I was crushing it as a YouTuber there. And I got to know the city very, very well. I didn't leave for 1 year, the confines of the 12 miles of New York City. in neighborhoods in the boroughs like the Bronx and Brooklyn and Queens, where you have ethnic minorities like Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Jamaicans, Haitians living there who have fought to mark their territory in that city.
Sure.
I promise you one thing. The New York City that I know, unless New York has changed, when the Islamists start arriving in that city, this is not London. Puerto Ricans don't fuck around.
Yeah, for
Dominicans don't fuck around. Harlem does not fuck around. You are not about to build a mosque and start playing the Azan at 4 a.m. in Harlem. At least, I mean, there's a Muslim part of Harlem, but it's not going to happen widespread. You're not going to do that in Washington Heights. You're not going to do that in the Bronx. You're definitely not doing that all over Queens. So I just say, like, the New York that I know, I think a reckoning is coming from Mamdani's New York City.
So you think there will be not a Sharia law in New York City?
I would be very surprised if the New York that I know allows Sharia law to happen easily. It might happen because you might get overwhelmed, but I think we'll see a very interesting couple of years where people will kind of be fighting for territory in the city.
Inon, what do you think about
I
Zoran
agree with
Mamdani?
that. I agree with that. I think it's also an experiment and a test for the American people themselves, how they will react once there's going to be more people from Jihadi and Qatari and Islamic Brotherhood influence in key positions in New York. And eventually they're going to learn.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our friends, about the content creators
Yay!
abroad, okay? And we'll start with that. First of all, we'll start with somebody that we all love in different ways, Sneako, okay?
Oh.
And let's start with that. Tal, you're a big Israeli creator. What do you think about Sneako?
I think he's a grifter.
You think Sneako is a grifter?
Yeah, I think he's a grifter. I also think he's a bit of an idiot. I think he's chasing a paper trail, which many content creators are doing. But I think like what we talked about earlier before we started recording, people like Andrew Tate inspired him by doing that conversion to Islam shtick.
Yeah, I saw that as well. I thought, like, he did it for the fucking money.
Let me tell you guys a story real quick. Something that came from a previous world I was in is very insightful when it comes to this. When I used to be a travel vlogger and travel around the world, there was a key to making money quick and to getting a lot of views quick and to blowing up your channel. If you were to travel to a third world country or a developing country like Pakistan, Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia, wherever it be, and say a bunch of positive things about that place, you are guaranteed money, opportunity, sponsorships. I, as embarrassed as I am, I played into that myself. I lived in the Philippines for a long time, sort of riding the wave of viewers that came in. And it's something I'm honest about today. It was also a mistake. I was trying to figure them out, but I did that in Sri Lanka. I did that in a bunch of places around the world. It's a shitty tactic, but a lot of us did it back in the day. And now I'm not embarrassed to say because that world has been, but the Muslim world does the same exact thing.
Content creators who are converting to Islam.
They want to see it. They want to feel like the Muslims are taking over. They want to feel like they're winning. Muslims, I feel, by Western media, feel so put down. They feel that the world looks at them as such shitheads. They look at them as just terrorists. And all of a sudden, you have somebody like Sneako converts to Islam. It's like the biggest win in the world. It's like, oh my God, he's one of us. He saw the light. He understands what we understand. We're winning. We're making big strides.
It's just funny that Andrew Tate did a lot of big stuff and he also capitalized on that. He's the first one to exploit that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's credit to him.
You see, when they're not perfect Muslims, the crowd comes and eats them out. Like they destroy
gambling.
Them.
You're doing gambling.
Smoking. Sleeping with women, what are you doing? But they do this on a regular basis.
No, but you can sleep with 5 wives. It's okay.
But that's tricky.
Only with 4.
Only with 4?
Well, now, but Muhammad had more than 4.
Yeah, but he is considered to be the role model. But Muslim can marry 4 women.
And he also had Aisha, so it's good. Like she was 6 years old, 8. I don't remember.
I think she
Between
was
6 to 9.
9, I think.
Yeah. 9, probably.
The relationship started, I think, at 6, but. Yeah.
I mean, good role model. No.
Look, I'm not trying to talk about the sanctity of Muhammad because that's never my shtick. I understand he's a big figure for a lot of people, but also, like the grift towards the Muslim circle is so real. If I were tomorrow to convert to Islam publicly, can you imagine?
That would be crazy.
Can you imagine what would happen? And I would be flooded with success and money. Flooded. You know this.
Mm-hmm.
We all know this. Imagine if Inon came out tomorrow and said, I'm burning the book I wrote about exposing Islam for what it is. Not that that's what your book is, but,
yeah, right.
And you grew out a big beard, started wearing a jalabiyah, went to Mecca, did your Hajj. What do they all do, by the way? First thing they do, because they're the rich ones, they fly to Mecca and do Hajj and do their photo op to show that they're a real Muslim. When 99% of Muslims in the world can't afford going there. It's not even an experience that they can relate to. So it's a grift. It's a total grift.
Yeah. Inon, what do you think about Sneako?
I don't know him much. I saw him a little bit with Kanye, a little bit the shtick that he converted to Islam. He seemed, to be honest, he doesn't seem like too venomous or too poisonous person.
Oh, you did not see him a lot
I
of it.
didn't see him recently.
I mean, I saw him as a content creator from 2015. You see that venom in him, like going for
he's
the
bad, he's
algorithm.
bad.
Because again, I have no knowledge, no brief knowing with him. But Sneako, if you hear this, come to debate.
Inon's trying to rack them all up.
Let's go. I'll give another buddy who is like funny or a friend of Sneako rather, Nick Fuentes,
Yeah.
who some people proclaim him as a neo-Nazi. Yeah, Tal, you're in Israel. What do you think about Nick
So,
Fuentes?
Daily on my YouTube channel, I like to expose this gay Mexican.
Yeah.
He is neither a conservative nor right-leaning. The man espouses communism. He espouses men not acting masculine, not sleeping with women. He espouses the ideology of men sleeping with other men on a regular basis. He has praised both Hitler and he has praised also damn, it's escaping my mind. I'm like
Stalin, I think.
Stalin. The man, I don't even want to call him a grift. I think he's actually I think he's very stupid.
Really?
Yeah. This isn't coming from a perspective of I think I'm better than everyone. When you fall into this patch where you're starting to praise evil people, it doesn't end well for you. You can take it so far, but we're seeing with Candace Owens, right?
Yeah.
You go, chase the grift, chase that side, chase the Jews as far as you can, but you hit a wall. Alex Jones, he did it for a while too, lost relevancy.
Alex Jones chased the Jews?
He did for a certain period of time. He also chased every establishment. He flirted with the idea that Jews did 9/11 on several occasions as well, that Jews control the world, that they control media. And look at him, he's also fallen out of relevancy. I think this idea of that you just chase the most evil thing possible so you can rage bait, so you can get your clicks, so you can piss people off, fine, you'll make a bunch of money in the moment. You'll get a bunch of your followers, but your followers don't stay 16 forever. Right? Your followers turn 18, they turn 20, their cerebellum evolves. It starts getting, at some point it expands. You become an adult and then you're like, wait, I want to have a job and I want to marry somebody. I want to have a wife and kids. I don't want them to think that I support Hitler. That's not cool. In any place, it's not cool.
What do you think about Nick Fuentes?
Racist, megalomaniac, but he also understands the Jewish story.
You think he understands it?
I think he understands the Jewish story more than most of the other grifters or the anti-Israeli ones, because he knows that we have a unique mission, and he knows that we are first a nation, not a religion.
Mm-hmm.
But again, he makes his status, like most of them, based on, grifting and playing in the role of hate against us. Yeah.
Yishai Fleischer, who we brought up earlier, I think in the Hebrew podcast, an amazing advocate for Israel, just like us. He's the deputy mayor of Hebron, or
no. He's he's the international spokesperson of Hebron.
A settler, right? Who what you would imagine to be a settler. I don't believe he's settling anything, but he's an amazing guy.
Shout out to Ishai.
Shout out,
my man.
He actually made an amazing video about Nick Fuentes being extremely smart. You saw this?
Yeah. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying.
Praising him for how smart he was, thinking he actually predicted that soon in the future, Nick Fuentes will switch sides and come onto our side.
I doubt that this will happen, but maybe,
I doubt that it will happen too, but it's interesting because if you watch Ishai's content about Nick Fuentes, he praises him with these like Yiddish Ashkenazi words. It's very cute. He calls him like a punum. He says like he's very cute because he sees him like this angry little Mexican, like this angry gay Mexican. It's weird. It's like a weird world, and you can see he has a lot of appreciation for us while talking shit about us. It's very strange.
Speaking about Ishai, I wrote a whole episode about him in my book, and I think what is very noteworthy regarding people like Ishai is that he is very comfortable with Jewish power, something that a lot of Jews feel apologetic towards, and we should not apologize about our power, but power also demands responsibility.
Correct. With great power comes great responsibility.
True.
Yes, for sure. Let's talk about the next person, HasanAbi. Okay. Let's start with Inon.
Let's start with me because I'm going to be very short. I don't know much about him. I just know that he is a combination between a liberal, progressive, and Muslim, something that I do not understand how that adds up.
And he's also super rich and talks
Yeah,
about
yeah.
communism and all that.
Very, very important. He's very eloquent. He's very articulated and charismatic. And this is where a lot of people are being deceived by people who are very charismatic. And, because they talk very nice and very eloquently and all that, doesn't matter what the information that they spew from their mouth, people will buy what I call the baklawa of lies that come from their mouth.
What do you think about HasanAbi as an Israeli content creator, Tal?
So Hassan Piker is an Islamo-communist. Open shut case. You don't need anything else. He espouses dawah, like Islamic dawah, while breaking every rule in the book, being as haram as possible, sleeping with multiple women, drinking alcohol, the whole 9 yards, everything. And this all comes, by the way, from his bigot of an uncle, Cenk Uygur, from
Young Turks.
He's a direct product that's been raised, this little demonic child from the Young Turks, him and Anif Hesperian. And he's exactly that. He's an Islamo-communist. He's anti-America first and foremost. He's defended the idea of children being raped on October 7th.
Really?
Multiple times he did this early on in the war.
Really?
He just got caught in this massive scandal, shock collaring his dog live on stream.
That was crazy.
It was crazy, but that's because he's crazy.
Kaya Gate, man.
So 100% Kaya Gate. I go on my channel on a regular basis and I say, Hassan, he's one of those people we need to go and just deport.
ICE needs to take him.
Get him the fuck out of the United States. That is an anti-American fool. He's an enemy to the United States of America. Allegedly. Everything
allegedly, of course.
Everything allegedly. And they don't co-sign anything I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
My own words.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly.
What do you think about Hasman Gold? Do you know him? Inon?
That's going to be super short. I don't know him.
I've reacted to a few of his clips. He seems pretty based.
What do you think about Hasman Gold, Tal, as an Israeli?
I've reacted to a few of his clips and he seems very based. Like he seems like he's pretty on point. I don't really know his positions on Israel, but most of the time when some crazy pro-Palestine shit or leftist shit is happening, he seems to have pretty based takes on everything.
What do you think about Myron Gaines, Inon?
Myron Gaines, very similar to, what's his name, to Nick Fuentes, but only he's a Muslim, he's an ex-Muslim, or he's still a Muslim. I'm not sure
about that.
Again, very, very articulated, very charismatic, very, we also want to have a discussion or a debate, more or less.
Yeah.
But again, these people spew a lot of venom, hate, and lies from their mouth. And, I actually want to debate him. Tal also want to debate him. But
let's set it up, Myron.
Let's set it up. Let's bring it on.
Bring it on. Tal, what do you think about Myron Gaines as an Israeli?
Myron Gaines' name is Amr Fudl. He's from Sudan. He's a dual loyalist Sudanese American citizen. He's an Islamist. He hates women, as he's proven recently too, by the way. This is, again, another anti-American fool who preaches radical Islam and hyper-conservatism. Like he goes down the Nick Fuentes route, when in reality, he doesn't stand for an inch or a penny of what conservatism or capitalism is. He's grifting and gaining off the United States.
You think he grifts?
100%. 100%. But I do believe that from all the grifters, he was born and raised in an Islamo-fascist society in Sudan. I know what side of the argument he comes from. He 100% believes a lot of his grift. He really does. But I do believe he grifts on certain topics. Because here's the reality. Nick Fuentes doesn't accept him. They'll take a picture together. But Nick Fuentes talks shit about black people on a regular basis. He's black and an Arab, by the way, who Nick Fuentes sees as an enemy of the United States of America. Again, while being a Mexican. So, again, I say deport. Allegedly.
Inon, you're in Israel. What do you think about Mohammed Hijab?
Mohammed Hijab is an interesting figure. I mean, Mohammed Hijab before the war was relatively someone that you could have a debate with. And our friend Joseph Cohen, Israel Advocacy Movement, I'm sure that you know about him.
I actually don't.
You should, because he's a very interesting and very articulated figure.
It's amazing, yeah.
Joseph used to debate him in Hyde Park in the UK, in London. Somewhere that I'm going to be also in a couple of weeks.
Let's go.
Coming to London. Be prepared.
The dawah is coming.
The dawah is coming.
Especially the leftists.
Alhamdulillah.
So Mohammed Hijab, he is willing to a debate. He used to be. But I think now the war made him very, very anti-Israeli, anti-Zionist, even anti-Semitic. But I don't know. I mean, I'm trying, people that I think that I can have maybe a discussion with. I'm trying not to too much bash, but
You want to come in good faith.
not only to come in. I want to come in good faith all the time. And it's also much more important for me to have Jewish-Islamic conversation, debate, conversation. You can call it whatever you want, depends on the opponent. But, it's so important for me to try to create a bigger story between strong Judaism and strong Islam. And so Mohammed Hijab, even though now I heard that he has a lot of scandals and stuff like that.
W scandals.
Bring it on.
The scandals as well?
The scandals.
No, leave him out. Leave him
I don't
out.
want scandals.
What do you think about Mohammed Hijab Tal as an Israeli content creator?
He's a dual loyalist Egyptian British citizen. He studied most of his Islam in hyper jihadist schools in the Muslim world. I believe between Syria and Egypt. He is allegedly, as the recent scandal that came out that was talking about, a rapist.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a rapist, allegedly?
Allegedly,
again, of course. We don't know.
But I was on a recent flight and I read down the whole rabbit hole, 40-minute story, testimony where he was toying with young Muslim women, pretending to be their husband, and leading them into a lifestyle just to have sex with them and then kick them out of their life, allegedly, and because he has a massive platform, obviously nobody can stand against him.
Abuse of power, allegedly,
especially in Muslim circles. I have one very, very powerful statement I need to make to every UK citizen watching this right now.
Okay,
maybe the most important thing I've said so far in this podcast: deport. He should not be in the West. This man is a terrorist, allegedly.
Jesus.
And I, by the way, as opposed to Inon, I respect your opinion. I'm not looking to have good faith conversations with these people. I want to have bad faith conversations with these people because these people are evil. I'm not trying to cancel them. I say platform them, but platform me next to them. Let's see you if you have the balls, if you have the cojones to platform somebody like me next to them. I want to have a conversation that goes to bad faith with them because these people are evil human beings. These people are looking for the destruction of Western society. Mohammed Hijab on multiple occasions has espoused death upon our people as a whole. He openly supports October 7th, like 100% does. I have no problem butting heads with him. And him like other Islamo-Nazis in the space would say, the first thing that they do, and they always do this, is result to violence. Because he's a tower of a human being, he would say to me, well, you would never say this to my face. Because I'd beat up on you. I'd kick your ass.
You're also a tower, man.
I'm not.
I came to the door just to say it before we met, and I saw him, and I was like, "Fuck!" I was scared. Jesus, I was like, "Who is this man?"
And you didn't even hear me say Allahu Akbar.
No. If you would have done that, my heart would sank to my asshole, man.
But that's the reality. These people, when confronted with like, let's have an intellectual conversation or even a bad faith conversation, the first thing they want to do is violence. I've experienced this over and over and over again with these people. It's just it results direct. Let's fight it out. Like that's why your backwards Muslim world looks the way that it does right now, is because when confronted with having a tough, loving conversation, which Jews can do and Christians can do, we need to talk out tough sometimes. Sometimes I need to curse you. Sometimes I need to make fun of you in front of an international audience. Sometimes you deserve it. Sometimes I do. But if your reaction is, I'm going to shoot you or beat you up, how can we ever progress as a society?
I understand what you're saying. And there is also a danger to the conversation, allegedly. Candace Owens. What do you think about Candace Owens?
Candace Owens probably the ultimate traitor.
You think she's a traitor?
I think she's a traitor. She's someone that has no credibility. She's someone that actually wants to convey her status, and she has such a big megalomaniac ambitions. And someone that dreams and conveys that because she had something in a dream, it's a fact. I mean, what the hell, man?
What are you specifically talking about?
I'm talking about that. What was that? That the Charlie Kirk thing that he came to her in a dream, and he told her that Israel is behind or something like that.
She's a prophet. She's Nebi Candace.
Prophet.
But she's actually, in a way, I believe she's serving our cause because she's actually creating more anti-Semitism that more Jews will come and make Aliyah. So thank you, Candace.
W. Candace.
What more than that about Candace?
Yes.
Again, like most of these grifters, most of these social media activists, very eloquent, very, very super talented.
She's attractive as fuck.
Super talented.
She's attractive as fuck?
For me, at least.
I like you, my boy. I like where your brain goes. Nice. That's good.
Super talented. She learned a lot, from who? From the Jew. From the Jews.
From the little
From the Jews.
shekel.
Yeah. Loving shekel.
Why she's a traitor? Because we gave her so many tools of ideology, of how to put the message out, and she stabbed us in the back, actually. But now she's gonna serve our cause.
What do you think about Candace Owens as an Israeli?
So as opposed to Inon, I don't believe that she's a backstabber. I don't think she ever had morals to begin with. I've had to react to a lot of her content on my YouTube channel recently, and seeing the transition she's gone through in life as
this is the second time you disagree with me. I mean, 3 times.
It's a strike.
That 2 Hooga Booga Jews can, and still be friends after.
But I must say here, way before October 7th, she was very pro-Israeli, very pro-Zionist even. But something, I think it was Kanye, that her connection with kind of got her to change, and possibly more stuff like that. But eventually, in the end of the day, she betrayed us.
What I believe is that she, first, yes, 100% there was a betrayal there. But I do believe that if you look at her track record from being a lefty who used to police freedom of speech in college campuses, because that's what she did, and overstaying, I think 6 months in a New York City apartment that she didn't pay rent for.
I don't remember that.
She's just a shitty person who does shitty things and will do anything for money. She's a money whore, and anybody can see that if you look. That I won't even say allegedly. That's pretty fine. Fuck it. Allegedly on everything. Fuck it. But she is allegedly a money whore on every aspect of her life. There is no reason that we won't see her jump 8 more times through different political alleys just to serve her purpose of making money. The clearest indication of this was when Charlie, supposedly her best friend, died. She was selling merchandise at the end of she didn't miss a single video, allegedly. Every single video, allegedly, she was selling merchandise at the end of. And that is insane. If that's you, I didn't know Charlie Kirk. I had a like from him once on one video. I don't have any. I never
merch of what?
Candace Owens merchandise. She sold
in the end of the Charlie Kirk episodes.
Yes, especially after.
That's fucked up a bit. Yeah,
she was selling Central Bureau, Candace Bureau of Investigation, FBI or CIA. So whatever that is.
do you think? Let's be honest. I'm trying to be in good faith. I think that it's shitty, but I also understand that that's the news and that's what she does for a living. Therefore, she advertises her own merch.
No, I disagree.
It's abuse.
You think it's abuse because he was her a friend or self-proclaimed best friend?
There's no morals there. I didn't put my mug. I have an amazing merch plug. You guys have seen it. I didn't put it at the end of the videos. I almost never put it at any video that has to do with Charlie Kirk, even this far along, because the topic depresses me so much. Seeing him get killed, honestly traumatized me. It was horrible. It brought me back to the shit I saw on October 7th. I feel bad selling my merchandise on videos that have to do with him or with Candace. So the level of inhumanity she has to do that is disgusting. But I think that's what she is, allegedly, a whore for money. She'll do anything to sell, to make money, to earn a buck. And I want to add one last thing about Candace. I had a conversation with somebody who you interviewed, Rudy Rockman, a friend that I grew up with. Or maybe he wasn't here, but it was a different podcast.
Okay.
You should have him on the show. He's an amazing Israel advocate as well, with some very fascinating ideas. I was having a conversation with him about Candace this week and how he would react. And he told me, similar to what Inon said, about how if he had an opportunity to discuss with Candace the debate, he would let her know to her face that she is literally serving the purpose of the Jewish people by promoting anti-Semitism and making everything a Jewish problem. Literally, and in a religious manner, I think this is a fascinating conversation. She isn't even in control of what she's doing. Something is possessing her to make every single problem, every minute issue, something to do with Israel or the Jews.
It's the dreams, man.
It's the dreams. She's, again, like we said, a prophet, allegedly.
Prophet.
A prophet. And she's being communicated with in a way she can't even control. And that, in my opinion, if I had an opportunity to say that same line to her, I 100% would. Because it's amazing. She is not in control of what she's doing. She's just speaking out of so much ill will because something is possessing her to do it. She can't even process it.
W. Candace or L. Candace. What do you think? And that's funny to bring his name up. Adin Ross. What do you think about Adin Ross?
Super short. Don't know.
You don't know him? Tyler, what do you think about Adin Ross as an Israeli?
I've been disappointed in him. I know he had an opportunity to debate one of my friends on a high platform. He gave it up. He didn't do it. He keeps making these weird grifty posts for, here's the thing.
He says free Palestine.
He says
man.
free Palestine. Like Speed, Speed, the streamer.
IshowSpeed.
These guys would not, I don't think Adin Ross could point to Israel or Gaza on a map, to be honest with you. He seems like a bit of a dunce.
I mean, there is this funny meme that IshowSpeed bombed. He want to bomb Israel, but bombed another country because he did not know this thing. IshowSpeed bombing Israel. That was funny. Because the intent was evil, allegedly, but
allegedly.
but let's just put it to here. Yeah. Just a sec, guys. Just put it.
Israel's like, don't tell me. I know where to. I swear on my life, it's right here. Israel's right here. Bye, Israel.
Wow, is that Iraq?
That's a Saudi Arabia, actually. That's
Like northern Saudi.
That's
What country next?
Yeah, we can see it.
That's kind of Mecca.
Israel just on the edge and most.
W speed bombing the whole Middle East. Very good job. But that's the level of that's what we're dealing with, right? That's the Adin Rosses of the world. That's the Speeds of the world. It's not, they don't really understand what the hell they're talking about. Who cares? That's my ideologies. Who cares? It would be nice if he came to Israel to visit.
Yeah.
Especially as a Jew. I think Adin Ross is fully Jewish, no?
He's a full Jew, I think.
It would be cool if he came to see at least where he came. Even if he wants to say free Palestine, just bring him to see it. I think it's important for Jews to see it. But who cares what he says?
We'll bring you to the trip here.
Yeah, he's a dunce.
He's a dunce.
He's a dunce.
What do you think about, let's go to the other side, Douglas Murray? What do you think about Douglas Murray and Israel?
Very, very smart. I don't say that I relate with every single idea that he has. He's a true ally of the Jewish people. He is a liberal that really see value in connecting the Jewish story with the West from a healthy place, I believe. But he's a liberal, and I'm more relating myself with traditionalist people. But yeah, good guy.
What do you think about Douglas Murray as an Israeli?
A lot of respect for him, for what he does for our people and for Israel. Again, don't agree with him on everything, especially when it comes to the intricacies of Islam. But I respect massively his opinions on the region and the way that he sees the world. And obviously the fight for European Western civilization in Europe, in the European continent, I think is very important.
Mm-hmm. We'll try to put a video and we will try to react. Well, let's just put it this way. Okay, Joe Rogan had Shin Gillis on and he talked about Nick Fuentes. Asmongold reacted to it, so we'll react to the reaction of Asmongold reacting to Joe Rogan talking to Shane Gillis. Okay, that's great.
Reaction
so
inception.
You tell me, what do you think about it? Okay. Just a second. Okay, great.
This has 1.5 million views. This one has 3 million views. Okay, I don't know if we're ready for this one.
You'd think we'd have more presidents, the Catholics. Yeah, they only had one. Biden.
JFK. Oh, Biden's Catholic too. You're right.
Oh, Biden's Catholic. We got Biden.
Yeah.
You got anybody in mind? Fuentes. Nick Fuentes? He could probably win if.
Man, that's crazy. They have totally broken containment.
Listen, he couldn't have existed before. 10, 20 years ago, couldn't have existed.
That's true. All of the gatekeeping mechanisms in media are destroyed. There's no more, oh, you can't say that. No, they're saying it now.
Now, super popular. What's 20 years from now look like? Maybe someone like that can win. It's fascinating to watch a whole group of people that feel very unrepresented in the world, and especially like young men. And here you got this young guy with a very high verbal IQ. And he also does a lot of shit posting, a lot of talking shit, a lot of trolling, says women shouldn't be allowed to vote, says wild shit. And that Piers Morgan thing is like, bro, that was like an expert sparring with someone who thought they were an expert.
Sure.
Like they're playing two totally different games.
And it's also the thing that people try to get Fuentes on is that he's still funny as fuck.
It's funny.
So that's where you're in a lot of trouble.
When he hits him, do you think you made jokes about the Holocaust? He goes,
Too soon?
Too soon?
Extraordinary that you would think the Holocaust could ever be something that we could joke about.
Why, too soon? Is it too soon to make jokes?
Like, dude. And you could see
he's wild.
You could see Piers.
Well, but you can. The reason why
Are
it
we
doesn't
just
work
pieces
is
of garbage?
if you want to react to it right now, you can, but we can continue.
Yeah, let's continue.
Like, this is
Because
the
the
reaction king. I am just
Entire system that they create is based around shame. And so when a person doesn't feel shame, then the entire apparatus of control falls apart. People no longer care or have any value in the approval of elites, mainstream media, or anything else.
Going, oh, fuck.
Bro, when he was like, me mom died. I was like, holy shit.
Bro.
Isn't it crazy that they are sitting around laughing about this on Joe Rogan? That to me is insane.
Hi peers, it's Stanley Finkelstein here. Since he says he's on Team Hitler, you might like to ask him about the fact that Hitler arrested my mum, tried to starve my mum to death. So you might ask him whether he wouldn't rather be on Team Mum rather than Team Hitler. He may all be.
And he says, he later laughs at that, and Piers Morgan says, me mom, because he tries to impersonate him, degrade him.
give it to the reaction king. Give it to the reaction king.
This is going to sound harsh as fuck, right? But that's not how you respond to Nick Fuentes. You don't bring a Holocaust survivor or the descendants of a Holocaust survivor to defend somebody making fun of the Holocaust. It doesn't work. I don't know how long the Jewish world will keep doing this stupid bullshit. We can't defend a Nick Fuentes type by bringing in the thing he's making fun of. It just becomes funnier. For the people who are uninvolved, who don't understand the seriousness of the Holocaust, they're going to just laugh at it.
Me mom, like you said.
It's there's nothing there. There's no, but that's all we do. After October 7th, we brought influencers here to Tor Yad Vashem. What did it do? Nothing.
Really?
What did it do? It didn't do anything. We brought influencers here to understand what happened on October 7th. It doesn't do anything to them. Our death, our life doesn't mean anything to these people. We are an ethnic minority with zero power in this region. As much as they like to label us, we need to start acting like a powerhouse, not like a victim. So when you up against a Nick Fuentes type, call him a gay Mexican live on TV. I'm not joking. By the way, you need to take, he had this amazing analogy. I watch his content quite frequently. He had this amazing analogy about after Charlie Kirk died, about how he wanted to mount TPUSA, Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk's organization. He wanted to fuck it and take all of his base away from him.
He did see that?
That is an Islamic ideology, by the way. When you have a different tribe you want to colonize, you come, you mount the tribe, you fuck it, and you take all of its followers with you. That's an incredible strategy for the world that we live in now. I say, let's do the same exact thing. As dirty as it is, as dirty as it gets, it's not going to feel good for us. It's not going to be moral in any sense. But you cannot bring a Holocaust survivor to a Nick Fuentes fight. Doesn't work. It will never work.
You know, do you want to end something?
Whatever Tal said, times 10.
A big joke to him.
We got all that. We, me mom. I don't even know who this person is. Why is this person talking to me?
And what do you mean by Hitler is very fucking cool? Because I think he's very fucking a monster.
I think he's very fucking a monster. Do you hear yourself? The uniforms, the parades. It's cool as a guy. You look at World War II. No one is in favor of genocide. So let's just get that out of the way.
He got hit. He got hit with a missile on that one. Too soon. Too soon. It was like, oh my God.
I don't know. And the thing is that the reason why I think a lot of people like it too is that it's completely unapologetic. See, like a lot of people don't understand this because they don't really get the psychology behind it. I at least think that I do. The main reason why people like Nick Fuentes are trying to normalize and make Hitler an acceptable figure to like make jokes about and say positive things about is because if you can break that stigma, you can effectively unlock a massive identity movement for white people because they view it as like an original sin that like white people have like a collective guilt for. It's the same as slavery too. Slavery is another example too.
We have been browbeaten as a people, as Americans, as Westerners, for our entire lives. We have been made the villain in our own story. It doesn't begin and end with Hitler is a monster because they've told us if you're too white and too proud and too Christian, it's going to lead to a Holocaust.
Here's a great example of it. Was it shocking to you that so many people were actually celebrating and openly thinking that it was good that Charlie Kirk was murdered? It shouldn't be shocking. The fact is that the only reason why they're expressing that viewpoint is because they thought, and to a certain degree, it is socially acceptable. And I think that young men, they have felt that they have been disenfranchised, disadvantaged. There have been roadblocks put up in their lives that they don't think that they deserve to have. They're angry about it. And
what do you think about what Asmongold said?
I think he's on point. He's 100% on point. Like, how many times did I say this in this podcast already? We have told white people that it's okay to hate them, that they're the worst, that they're colonizers. Nick Fuentes is the reaction to that. I'm not saying the three of us said that. But as a society, it happened, and we sort of watched it happen and just let it happen. We didn't do anything against it. We didn't care about white people, how they felt, white men, how they felt. And now you get a little gay Hitler. That's what you get. But you got to put that gay Hitler to bed. Like, not
Allegedly.
physically. You got to put that gay Hitler to...
Why not physically?
Not physically. I'm not talking about physical violence.
Sexual.
Not sexually. No physical.
Allegedly.
No, not allegedly. Physical. You need to put him down morally. You need to come and steal his audience from him. The only way on the internet. By the way, this is all happening in a bubble of the internet. If you go to a random country right now and you ask about Nick Fuentes, nobody fucking knows. Even most people in America probably still don't know who he is.
Really?
Probably. The average American probably doesn't. Average American doesn't really care or tune into this stuff. But it is happening on a certain corner of the internet that is important to address. If it's being talked about Shane Gillis and Joe Rogan, it's big. There's a solution to it. You have to take his audience away from him. Not ban him. Not censor him. Not take him away from the internet. Fight him. Be funnier. Fight him, not physically. Be funnier than him. Be smarter than him.
Fight him on the internet.
Debate him. Fight him on the internet. Ben Shapiro, for example, can't go up against Nick Fuentes, and I hope he doesn't debate him.
Why Shabibo can't?
Shabibo? Because Ben Shapiro will use too moral of a tactic because he's a hardline person who's actually talking in truth. Nick Fuentes lies often.
He trolls.
And he's pulling on the emotion. You don't bring somebody like Shapiro to win that fight. You're not going to have your, and all the Jewish people that I know are waiting for a Ben Shapiro debate with Nick Fuentes because they're like, he's going to crush him with facts. The Ben Shapiro facts don't care about your feelings shit doesn't work in 2025 against this crowd. We need somebody mean. We need somebody maybe evil. We need somebody who can fight fire with fire, not with, peace.
Exchanging. Yeah.
Have to. And Nick Fuentes knows that, by the way. And I hope to God that Jewish people listen to what I'm saying, because I say this on my show every day. I say this every month to millions of people. I hope somebody is brewing up a semi-mean candidate on our side that's willing to do this fight properly.
Inon, do you want to end something?
10 times.
And about
that's what I say when I'm getting tired. It's like my tea time, or my coffee time.
We'll drink tea if you answer later as well. What do you think also about the reaction of Joe Rogan as an Israeli to that?
He's a comedian on the internet. Shane Gillis is a comedian too. They rage bait often. Joe Rogan sailed past the ship of caring about Israel a long time ago. The guy's a multi-billionaire. He can't be canceled, right? I don't care about being canceled either, for a certain perspective. And once I unlocked early on, if you look at my advocacy for Israel a year ago, I was afraid of being canceled. So I wanted to be platformed by Jewish organizations and whatever it be.
Hold on. By the way, I want to say something very important about Tal. I know Tal for something like 4 or 5 years, something like that.
I think 5 years now.
Tal actually contacted me about, was 2020, 2021, and that was when I still had the home movement very active. And he wanted to meet Palestinians on the ground, something that I used to do very, very often. Tal used to be actually a hippie.
Really?
Yeah, I would consider myself a bit of a hippie.
Can I say that you were a hippie?
Yeah, not a lefty, but a hippie.
No, not a lefty, a hippie.
Free-spirited.
100%. I traveled the world. I was with my backpack for half of my life.
And what I really appreciated, first, he wanted to get to know the ground. He wanted to hear and see and feel the people, Palestinian settlers, and he made a research on the ground before he went to social media, before he went to advocacy for Israel. And that's something that, not because it's Tal, I really appreciate people that when they want to be an authority regarding something that they are speaking about, they meet the people, they go to the ground. And that's something I really respect about Tal, even though he's a piece of shit, actually.
Allegedly.
Habibi.
Allegedly.
Habibi. See how the Arab Jews talk to each other?
Yeah. So, and then Tal, with all the experience, he based what he says based on experience on the ground. I think it's very important. And again, even though I shouldn't say that he's a piece of shit, because I said before, I will not say that he's a piece of shit.
W. Okay, we'll react to 2 more clips, one of Nick and one of Joe, talking about the conflict itself. I think one of them is not even. No, we'll leave it also later. That's...
If it wasn't...
Okay, Nick Fuentes talking about the Jewish powers killing America.
And if it wasn't for our Jewish oligarchy, which spends all our resources fighting Israel's wars in the Middle East, Jewish oligarchy that actually hates white people, that says white people have anti-Semitism in their DNA. Well, what is that supposed to mean? They want us all dead. They want our genetics to die. It's no coincidence that they're in charge in every one of these Western countries, every Western country that's committing suicide. These are the three things killing the country. These are the three things which are why we're not going to have an America at the end of the century. And those are the three things I'm right about. That's why they throw every one of those labels at me. Racist, sexist, anti-Semite. No, we're just tired of mass migration, feminism, and Jewish power. I'm not a racist. I just don't want to die by mass migration. I'm not a sexist. I just don't want my race to die because of feminism, which is decadence. I'm not an anti-Semite. I don't hate anybody. I just want Christians and Europeans to be in charge of the country, not Jews that clearly hate us and want us all to die because they believe we have anti-Semitism in our bones and Rome destroyed the Second Temple. And I'm right about all those things.
He's a funny-ass motherfucker. You cannot take
super
it.
egomaniac. Eventually what will get all of these people to crumble and crush? Candace Owens,
Nick Fuentes.
Myron Gaines, it's the ego. That's eventually what will eventually get them to their demise.
Tal, what do you think about this Nick Fuentes?
I think, like I said earlier, he's a little retarded. He's a little off. Like, you could see he's misinterpreting history and not understanding exactly what's going on in the world. I feel bad for him. He's a retarded Mexican. He's gay. It's hard to grow up.
But he doesn't say he's gay.
He's gay, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Why? Wait, hold on. Does he bring proof of any of his claims ever?
No, but it's like saying to someone who is a narcissist who doesn't have like a receipt about being a narcissist. You feel what I'm saying? You can diagnose him, but there is no factual proof of it.
Sure, there is no factual proof about half the things that he said, but that goes back to what I was talking about. Stop trying to fight him with facts. Stop it. That's not the way I'm not saying you should fight him, because you're supposed to be a neutral party in this conversation. Inshallah, one day you have a debate platformed on your platform with Nick Fuentes.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to, but as somebody who's not a neutral party in this, who's fighting for my people and fighting for our coexistence with Christians and with white people in America, I call him a gay Mexican because that's what he is. I don't need to show receipts. Why? Does he show receipts that Jews control European countries? No, I don't see any receipts. I never see receipts from his clips. And I watch his show on a regular basis too. I have
a good show?
Huh?
A good show?
A good show?
Yeah, I'm asking.
Yeah, it's funny. It's hilarious. But it's the same ideology with like Kanye West, right? I'll give you this example, unless we're going to talk about Kanye.
You talk about him.
Okay. When Kanye West came out with Hail Hitler, the song.
Yeah.
You guys heard the song?
Hail Hitler. Say on Twitter.
Bop. I grew up with Kanye. He's one of my favorite artists. It breaks my heart that he's become a piece of shit. But when Hail Hitler came out, I listened to it on repeat. I'm embarrassed to say that. It was a fucking good song. It was a good song.
W.
And here's the thing. What I expected from the Jewish world and what came from the Jewish world the next day was exactly what Nick Fuentes explains here. And that's why we lose every fight in the PR. The next morning, you should have paid with all your Jewish money, with the millions that we do have in America, to put a Jew in the studio, put Nissim Black in the studio, West Side Gravy, Kosher Dills. You have so many rappers, talented rap. Put them in the studio, use Kanye's beat, and just rip him a new asshole. That's how you fight that fight. Make a funnier song, a better song, a more popular song. Fight it. What did we do? Here's 10 reasons Kanye West is an anti-Semite by the ADL.
Yeah.
Infographic
He's supporting
on
the Holocaust. This that.
Who cares? They don't care anymore.
Yeah.
That's not how you win this fight.
And I think you're so hitting that thing to the nail, because also the Prime Minister and Benjamin Netanyahu, Naftali Bennett, all of that are using those same arguments. We have had the Holocaust, it's a second Holocaust and all of that. No, they don't fucking give a fuck. Like you said, they're laughing at it because it's so far from them.
Like Inon said, I was a cuddly teddy bear post October 7th.
EPGP.
I didn't want to fight anybody. I didn't want to curse anybody like this. And I tried doing the civil route for a year. I did the hasbara route for a year. I traveled around Israel showing people the truth. You know who cared? Nobody. Nobody gave a shit.
Really?
When I started attacking people and using bad faith arguments to win fights against immoral people who genuinely espouse disgusting rhetoric against not just us, Western civilization, whoever you would imagine. That's when I started making real gains, because you know what? We're in a hooga booga world now. The world that the left once controlled, which was during the Biden administration, maybe a little bit before the Obama administration I grew up in, the pendulum has swung so far right now We're in a new age, and it's time to fight. I say we fight like 67. I say we fight the way we fought the 67 war. Let's take over land. Let's fight dirty. Let's do what needs to be done and show the world like this. You can all get fucked one by one. That's my ideology. And I know it sounds dirty, by the way. I know it sounds gross for most Jews to hear too, or Zionists to hear this. They're like, oh no, but that's not our side. That's not who we are. Get with the program. Get with the program.
We'll react to your last video and we'll finish with this because
sorry if I'm ranting a lot.
No, that's okay, brother. It's
very
okay.
important what you say. I think it's super important.
I agree with you. I agree as well. Joe Rogan and Shane Gillis discuss students being deported for criticizing Israel. That's kind of weird. Do you ever notice? Are you noticing? That's
fucking crazy. Like you're deporting a student for having an opinion about a world war. It's a war that's happening, right?
Yeah.
At least from one side of it. Like having an opinion is a problem that gets you ejected from the country. Like especially you're at a university, which is supposed to be a place where ideas get challenged.
Yeah. Yeah, it turns out both sides are totally hypocritical and do exactly what the other side did. And
it's interesting because we're getting to see it more clearly
Shane Gillis is retarded
than
little.
we've ever seen it before, right?
Yeah.
It seems like it.
It's Tufts University.
Tufts. Arrested and detained by ICE agents in Somerville, Massachusetts. What did she say?
She wrote up something in the newspaper, I think, like the school newspaper.
Right. But what was it?
Oh.
Let's see if we could read it. I wonder what got her deported. What were the words?
Criticizing leadership.
She criticized Tufts' leadership response to the Tufts Community Union Senate passing several resolutions concerning human rights violations in Gaza months after the op-ed was written and just weeks before she was detained. The website Canary Mission published a profile on Miss, I don't know how to say her name, Ozturk, including her photograph claiming she engaged in anti-Israel activism. Its sole support for the contention was a link and screenshots of her op-ed. When asked about her case, Secretary of State Marco Rubio confirmed revoking her visa, adding, "We gave you a visa to come and study and get a degree, not to become a social activist that tears up our university campuses."
Shut up, Marco.
So she was asking, put that up again, please. So she was asking,
Shane Gillis
she was criticizing Tufts leadership's response to the Tufts Community Union Senate passing several resolutions. So she must be a part of the Tufts Community Union Senate, or someone is. So they passed several resolutions concerning human rights violations. So what was she? I want to know what she actually said. You know what I mean? I mean, we're getting a synopsis of what her actual op-ed was. See if we can find it. It's just interesting because what can get you kicked out of a country that is the most pro free speech country on planet Earth? Like what gets you kicked out? Is it really
free speech?
Right. But
Free
is it
speech
only that one? Is it
out.
only that one? Like what if you had an opinion on Ukraine and Russia? Would that get you kicked out?
I doubt it.
That's weird, right?
It certainly is.
That's kind of weird.
It's a little
Did you ever
strange.
notice? Are you noticing?
Give me 2 more beers. Okay.
It's like he tries to dumb it down, but like.
Yeah. I'm so tired of these retarded takes. Like Shane Gillis is that tells you everything about who you're listening to and why you should value their opinion by like this much. We're getting a summary, a synopsis that doesn't tell us anything about the situation. Here's what I'll say to concede to the other side. If the activist who had a clearly Muslim or South Asian, let's racially profile for a sec. I'm allowed to. I'm brown. Let's racially profile. Say she's either Pakistani or Syrian or whatever she be. Was espousing anti-America or anti-Israel rhetoric, whatever. But if she engaged in protests that were affiliated with Hamas, that's her responsibility. Deport her out of the fucking United States. Kick her out unapologetically. No free speech for you. If you go and hold a flag or march with people holding a flag that has to do, you want to have your pro-Palestine protest, do the work, go stand across the street with another Palestinian flag, maybe hold up a sign, be diligent and say, I don't stand with Hamas or Hezbollah, so we can all clearly read it. Because if Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, sees that you support Hamas or maybe affiliate with somebody who supports Hamas, get fucked. Get out. You're done. That's a W for the United States of America, my opinion. Get the fuck out. Who cares? And Joe Rogan and Shane Gillis sitting there like, isn't it weird? Isn't it awkward how you're just kicking out people who speak about it? Give me the most vague synopsis and summary on the situation with zero information on what happened. It's like, but they can't do it. And that's going to be clipped and sent all over the internet with millions of views. Like, look, the Jews are controlling universities. It's dumb. It's boring. And it's lazy, honestly.
Well, it was nice having you for the English discussion as well. I appreciate you guys. a lot. Inon, thank you very much.
Toda
All the
rabba, thank
links
you
are
very
are going to be down below, as well as for Tal. Thank you very much. I appreciate you a lot.
Happy Balbi.
And that's it. Thank you very much, guys.
כפרה עליך.
I was Moshe Fabricant. That was Inon, Dan, Kehati, Tal. You can buy the merch. You can buy the merch. You can buy the merch. You can buy the merch as well. All the links are down below. I appreciate you. Goodbye.